B&B 2020. Are you ready?
So after that thrilling race, lining up now, we have the next race of the day is the Ugly & Co. Mini GP Junior Supermoto 140/50 Mini GP machines. Ruben Bray with a narrow pole position, 43.733 from Peter Willis. Daniel Goodman third. Warwick Brady in fourth. Zach Weston and Lewis Mullen in sixth position. Ty Butler was seventh from Harvey Lathrop. Mason Greasley, Tao Collymore in 10th. Luke Hutchison and James Cleary in 12th. Nathan Ellis Ward was 13th from Matthew Wood. Philip Suriak qualifying in 15th from Bobby King. Ozian Thomas and Joe Mosey Mostica in 18th place. Jack Knights in 19th. Kelsey Carter 20th. Brooke Champion in 21st. Josh Bannister and George Bartle not posting a time, so they will start at the back. So potentially quite slippery, tough conditions for the bikes in this warm weather, but great conditions for the spectators, and we've seen some great racing so far in these opening races. This, of course, another one of the youth classes. There's a whole manner of machines, including the junior supermoto machines and the mini bikes permitted to race in this one. Mixture of 4 strokes and the occasional 2-stroke in there as well. And once again, much like the pit bike class we just saw a moment ago, it's very much geared towards minimal modifications to the bikes, keeping things as competitive as possible. And this, of course, really is the way to help get newer riders into the sport as well. It's possible with a modest outlay to get a competitive race bike, and as you see on the track, it certainly does equate to some very close, exciting racing, as there isn't that much between the bikes out on the grid. So this is Junior Supermoto 140 Mini GP machines. Last couple of riders just making their way around the final corner and lining up nothing much at all between the top 2 riders. Very, very close indeed as the bikes line up. Just waiting, there's a stalled machine possibly at the back. The front runners all seem ready to go, as there was a rider just at the back, just with a bit of mechanical issues, and 1 or 2 others. I think the marshal is pointing out they're in the wrong positions on the grid here, so I'll get that sorted out. The mechanical issue with the rider further back all sorted out, and it looks like we are about ready to go. Riders making their final preparations. The grid marshal is happy that everyone's ready. Green flag goes up, and we are about to get underway. Go into the first corner. Great jump there from Daniel Goodman. Getting a couple of places there. Peter Willis gets away strongly, and they all make their way through that first corner safely into the top corner. So a steady getaway there from Peter Willis. Hold on to the lead, but Daniel Goodman will charge away from the line there. He's up there as well. Zach Weston, Warwick Brady, and Lewis Mullen in there as well. Ty Butler just a bit further behind for another clean, fast start as the 2:22 Harvey Lathrop having a look down the inside of Mason Greasley, and Ty Butler just ahead. Everyone through those first few corners safely, and them already making their way around towards the final corner. The leaders charging past the line, and at the moment it's Willis 151 leading the way from Daniel Goodman. Warwick Brady in third. Very fast and competitive first race of the day for these riders. Warwick Brady, Lewis Mullen, Zach Weston, Ty Butler, Harvey Lathrop, all very close. Absolutely no margin for error here at all, because that first lap very, very fast indeed. And 151, Peter Willis still leads the way, but the fast starting Daniel Goodman having a look down the inside. Ruben Bray is still in there though as well in third. Down towards the final corner they go, and certainly the top 10 in this race. Very, very close indeed. We'll have a look at the times when they come through to see how close they are. Certainly Ruben Bray, third place fastest rider, with a 44.052 last time round. And only really a couple of seconds, 2.5 seconds maybe separating the top 10. So it's all very, very close at the start of this race. Let's have a look at Ruben Bray in third. You can't really miss him with the Dayglow overalls there on the Ovale machine in third. A little bit further behind, Warwick Brady in fourth. Lewis Mullen goes through as Ruben Bray starts to put the pressure on Daniel Goodman here for second place. They make their way down towards the final corner. Bray having a peek down the inside, but that wasn't really going to go for a pass. Top three crossing the line. Fourth place, Warwick Brady, Lewis Mullen, Zach Weston, Ty Butler all going through as the 12 of Ruben Bray starts to put the pressure on Daniel Goodman into the top corner. Peter Willis, 151 through the chicane, running his own race at the front. Not too concerned about the riders behind him at the moment, just running his own lines. Keeping out of trouble. Daniel Goodman, though, still got visions of taking the lead, I think, so they are pretty close still. Goodman coming under some pressure from Bray in third. But Peter Willis, the 151, leads the way. Down towards the final corner they go. Now there is a slower rider in front who I think will be aware the leaders are coming through. Oh, but the leader's coming through towards that slow rider at the worst possible time into the chicane. That's just bad luck, really. All squeezing through. Not sure if that may have been the 464 Brook champion, possibly. That was just a bit of bad luck there for those leaders, just getting behind the slow rider into the slow chicane. So they all filter their way through. Good riding there, not doing anything too rash. But this top three breaking away now. Peter Willis, 151, the race leader. There he is from Daniel Goodman. Ruben Bray still third. And on the edge of the top 10, just making their way through past the line here. This battle towards the back of the field, we had Joe Mosey Mostica going through in 17th, George Bartle, Bobby King. And the leaders now are starting to close up on some of the back markers, a bit further down, just outside of the top 20. So this, with 7 laps to go, could throw a curveball into things. Peter Willis got away well at the start and has led pretty much the entire race. But the battle on for second now. Ruben Bray starting to look at Goodman as they close up on the 100 of Kelsey Carter. The novice bibs there, and Carter just holding the line there. These slow riders making the faster riders go around them. That was Jack Knight, I think, in there as well, currently running in 20th place. Knight's just holding the line as the faster riders make their way through, and Peter Willis taking advantage of that traffic to pull away slightly. Warwick Brady closing up on the tail enders as well, but Peter Willis pulling away slightly there. There he is, 151. Made good use of the slower traffic, but he's encountering some riders on the edge of the top 20 here now. I think that's Bobby King and George Bartle about to be lapped. There's the 21 of George Bartle, currently in 17th place, about to be lapped by the leader. Oh, red flag is up though. There's been an incident. The race has been stopped. We're just looking out to see, I think, judging by the reaction of the crowd, I think it is down by the people in the paddock. I think it's down by the final corner. Something's gone wrong. There is a red flag situation. Philip Suryak was in 15th place. Ozine Thomas in there as well, number 10. You can see closest to your shot as well on one of the mini GP machines. Last few riders taking their place on the grid. Here we see on the inside the 151 of Peter Willis and 57 Daniel Goodman. Side by side, these two riders very, very close indeed at the start of the race. And now let's see what they can do with just a few laps remaining. The start here with just a short time remaining is going to be very important indeed. I think riders are ready, in place, and the starter making his way out onto the line. We're just going to make sure riders are ready, and we'll be back underway with the restart of the Junior Supermoto 140 Mini GP. Dash to the flag here. Start is going to be important. Oh, there's one or two riders creeping there, but the green flag drops. Well, I think, yeah, it's been called as a start, so there were one or two riders creeping there, but everyone seems to get away okay. And the front, well, it looked like Peter Willis getting away at the jump of the field. Goodman second, Bray third, and Warwick Brady getting a good jump as well in fourth place. There's the 151 of Peter Willis. Syriac going on there as well, a bit further down the field. 111, Lewis Mullen getting away well. In fact, man on the move here, Philip Syriac. There's some trouble on the start there. One or two riders seem to be almost didn't quite jump, but the race is still going ahead, of course, so it does seem to be a good start. One or two riders almost caught out by the flag there. We had a bit of a shuffle here in the pack. The man on the move at the moment is the 75 of Philip Syriac, moved all the way up to 7th place. Trouble here, Nathan Ellis-Ward dropped a couple of places, Ozzy and Thomas as well, but the 151, Peter Willis getting away well once again. Goodman, here's the 97 and 2, Lathrop down the inside, trouble 2, Harvey Lathrop down the inside of Ty Butler. Peter Willis showing at the moment in 15th position, but out on the track at the front. And it's still very close actually, Ruben Bray and the 99 of Warwick Brady, who really trying to take advantage of this restart. There's the battle between Lathrop and Butler. And the man on the move there, Syriac, the 75, really got away well. Just ahead of Nathan Ellis-Ward and Mason Greasley, Matthew Wood, Ozzy and Thomas rounding out the top 10. Mostica a bit further behind. So Harvey Lathrop treble 2, just ahead of Ty Butler. There's Philip Syriac on that electric blue machine, 75. Ward just behind, and Mason Greasley in there as well. So Syriac got a great start there, jumping all the way through to the top 10. 7th place at the moment, but he's got some pressure now from Nathan Ellis-Ward, Mason Greasley and Matthew Wood a bit further behind with 1 lap to go. Ruben Bray, incidentally, fastest lap of the race with 1 lap to go, 43.556, as we concentrate on this battle with Philip Syriac on the 75. Here's the battle for the lead though, 151, still your race leader, Peter Willis from Daniel Goodman and Ruben Bray. Just a few more corners to go, and it looks like Peter Willis has done enough at the moment as they make their way down towards the final corner. He's got that all-important gap at the front. Round the last corner they come now. That marker in front, but shouldn't cause any trouble. 151, Peter Willis crossing the line. Daniel Goodman, Ruben Bray and Warwick Brady just a bit further behind. Very close battle there with Harvey Lathrop and Ty Butler. And on the final lap, 28 there, the machine of Mason Greasley gets up past Nathan Ellis-Ward, and the unfortunate Philip Syriac after that great start, just dropping a couple of places at the end there, and he will finish, I believe, in 10th place. So I think you can effectively put Peter Willis, the 151, showing us 13th on the timing charts here, but that'll be picked up manually, I'm sure, and he'll be put as number 1 after that great restart, just a few laps after that red flag. The start, very important. It was a bit of a higgledy-piggledy start, you might say. 1 or 2 riders getting caught out by the flag there, so certainly was some late drama in that one. So from you to my Ugly & Co. Junior Supermoto 140 and Mini GPs. This is how they lined up this morning. In the qualifying, Ruben Bray was the fastest qualifier. Very, very close indeed, though. 43.733 from Peter Willis. Daniel Goodman third. Warwick Brady in 4th. Zach Weston and Lewis Mullen taking us down to 6th position. 7th was Ty Butler. Harvey Lathrop was 8th. Mason Greasley, Tayo Collymore 10th. Luke Hutchinson and James Cleary in 12th place. Nathan Ellis-Ward, Matthew Wood, Philip Syriac in 15th. Bobby King, Ozzy and Thomas, and Joe Mosey Mostica in 18th place. Jack Knights, Kelsey Carter and Brooke Champion 21st. Josh Bannister and George Bartle, no time for them. They will start at the back of the grid. Round number 2 of the Rich Energy British Mini Bikes here at Lydd in Kent on this wonderful afternoon for racing. And we are about to get things underway with the Junior Supermoto 140 Mini GP. Second race of the day for this class. Making their way around on their formation lap up to the grid. Still a very hazy, warm afternoon here at Lydd. Technically it's in a desert, this track. It's a big sand expanse just to the, you would say just behind that final corner. You'll see the power lines and the long shot on that last corner, and that's pretty much a whole expanse of desert basically. It's very close to the coast here as well, Lydd on sea, not too far away. Plenty of people enjoying the sunny weather after what's been a tough year as well in all aspects of society, I would say. And certainly the local campsites and caravan sites look busy, of course, with people taking the necessary precautions and enjoying the warm summer's weather. No time to relax though on the grid here as the Junior SM 140 and Mini GP machines. Final preparations on the line. We're just making sure that I think there's a rider in trouble at the back of the grid. May have just lost the engine, and just a case of, I think, the recovery marshal just making sure that bike is started. Some of these youth classes, they will have what's known as recovery marshals, and usually these are parents or guardians, some of the riders just helping out to make sure the riders can get the machine started. But away we go, and oh, great start there from Peter Willis, round the outside into the chicane. Really anticipated that start well. Daniel Goodman second, Lewis Mullen, Warwick Brady and Harvey Lathrope. Everyone through the first chicane safely, but what a start there from the 151. Peter Willis leads them into the top corner. So Willis leads. Daniel Goodman losing out, but still there in second place. Third is Lewis Mullen, Warwick Brady and Harvey Lathrope rounding up the top five. At the 111 of Lewis Mullen with a good start there, battling with Warwick Brady and Harvey Lathrope. But Peter Willis on the 151 leads them around the final corner. Daniel Goodman still there in third, but Ruben Gray, the man on the charge, up to second place now on the number 12. Daniel Goodman, Warwick Brady also in there as well. Harvey Lathrope rounding out the top five. All very close at the front. Peter Willis on the 151. Had that great start, jumped past Ruben Bray, but Bray is trying to fight back. Down the back straight they go. Willis can't find a way, or shuts the door, I should say, on Ruben Bray. Lewis Mullen in third, Daniel Goodman, Warwick Brady still running up the top five, very close indeed because Harvey Lathrope's in there as well. There you see Lathrope with the fluorescent yellow helmet, blue riding gear. So top two very close, third through to sixth place with seventh and eighth all pretty close on this first lap. Ruben Bray, fastest lap of the race. Here's the battle for third place. Lewis Mullen, Daniel Goodman, Warwick Brady and Harvey Lathrope. 10 laps to go, still a long way then as the leading group make their way down the back straight. Willis still leads from Bray as Goodman has a look down the inside of Mullen, but the 111 of Lewis Mullen holds on to that third place. Warwick Brady and Harvey Lathrope still battling away. There's the two leaders. Peter Willis with that great start, holds on. Ruben Bray trying to find a way through. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh, all very close indeed. Lewis Mullen third, Daniel Goodman, Warwick Brady, Harvey Lathrope and the 97 of Ty Butler now started to get involved in this battle of a third. Headed by the 111 of Lewis Mullen. Up towards the top corner they go. Mullen's got the line into the corner. 57 Goodman trying to find a way through, gets a good exit down the straight. Tries to look down the inside, but Mullen shuts the door. Brady still there on the number 99. It's as you were at the front. Peter Willis and Ruben Bray battling hard for the lead. Ty Butler and Mason Greasy closing up 7th and 8th. There's the two leaders just going through past the line. Here comes the battle of a third. Goodman tries to go down the inside on the exit at the final corner, but doesn't make the move stick. He's got to be careful there not to let Warwick Brady through either on the number 99. Treble 2, Harvey Lathrope setting his best lap of the race. 45.292, 8 laps to go in this one. And as they make their way through towards the S's, sweeps right, left, then right again, down the back straight they go. and it's still Mullen holding on to that third place from Goodman. Brady fifth, Lathrop, and still the 97 of Ty Butler trying to get involved in this battle of a third. You see Butler just on the edge of this little battle. Mason Greasley a bit further behind as well. Then it's a bit of a gap then between them and Nathan Ellis-Ward and James Cleary, Matthew Wood and Philip Suriak a bit further behind. Ozzy and Thomas. George Bartle starting from the back of the grid up to 14th place. And past Joe Mosey, Mostica, Bobby King, Jack Knights, Kelsey Carter and Brooke Champion on the 464, rounding out the field at the moment. But Lewis Mullen 7 seconds down on the leader, still in that third place. Peter Willis and Ruben Bray still battling it out for the lead at the front, but here comes the battle for third place. Lewis Mullen still third, Goodman, Brady, Lathrop, Butler, and Harvey Lathrop has moved into fifth place there on the treble two, trying to get by Daniel Goodman. But Brady has a look down the inside into the hairpin, holds on to the fifth place though. Lathrop, Brady tries again into the top corner, but Harvey Lathrop shuts the door. Oh, we got a little bit of a kicker there coming out of the top corner, but it doesn't affect him too much. There's the 100 of Kelsey Carter, currently 18th place. And they all get bulked slightly behind. I think that's Jack Knights just in front there. Through the S, it's a bit of a bad place to encounter a slow rider, and these slow riders doing the right thing there, just holding their line, letting the faster riders find a way through. Certainly not obliged to jump out the way, but it's another thing for the faster riders to contend with here, just trying to make sure they deal with the slower traffic effectively. Peter Willis still leads 1 second between first and second. Ruben Bray on the number 12 with the fastest lap of the race. And still this battle going on here. Lewis Mullen and Daniel Goodman have pulled away now slightly. Harvey Lathrop still in fifth, but Lathrop not really closing up now. His attentions are with Warwick Brady just behind in sixth place. Lathrop doing all he can to try and get involved in this third place battle. Ruben Bray, incidentally, fastest lap of the race on the number 12. There we see Lewis Mullen. I think we're just going past the 21 of George Bartle, currently in 14th place. Ozzy and Thomas just ahead as well. So contending well with the midfield traffic as they are lapped. 4 laps to go. And Peter Willis, after that great start, leads the way. Ruben Bray trying to get through in second place, and still Harvey Lathrop battling away with Brady, who's going to try round the outside, get back onto the inside for the next corner, but Lathrop holds on to that line, keeps the position. 2.5 laps to go. Very soon indeed. And these riders getting the 3-lap board just a bit further behind. Mullen still third, Goodman, Lathrop, Brady, Butler, 28 of Mason Greasley in 8th. Nathan Ellis-Ward, James Cleary in 10th place. Pit bike bets coming up in a few moments, of course, but we've still got this action out on the track with Peter Willis leading the way from Ruben Bray. Here we see the 111 still in third of Lewis Mullen as Goodman tries to get through. Daniel Goodman on the 57. No way through at the moment, as Peter Willis and Ruben Bray just crossing the line. They filter their way through some of the slower traffic. They're having a really good battle at the front, trading for position, but still very close for this battle of a third. The lead is up at the top corner now, heading towards the first of the back straights. But here we see the 111. Here we go, looking at the leaders actually. Oh, but trouble here. 2 riders going down. Now this, I believe, is on the first of the S's corner. Trying to pick out who those riders are. It's, I think it was just ahead of the lead group. The 2 leaders have gone through okay. Peter Willis and Ruben Bray with quite a fast tumble on the first of the S's. Red flag is up. The race has been stopped. I think that was 2 of the midfield riders battling for position going into the first of those S's corners in the middle of the lap, and down they go, but the red flag is out. Quite a high-speed area to have a tumble off the bike, so I think they may well be just getting some medical attention. The race has been stopped. Peter Willis and Ruben Bray.